Right, we're going back to work today, so if anyone can't hear me, I do apologise because the phone is attached to the back of the steering wheel and I've not got the Bluetooth on. Hang on, let me try this. Okay, Google. Okay, Google. No, ain't gonna work. I was gonna see if I can activate Bluetooth. So, I'm going back to work today. I've had just over 2 weeks off. I've just had over 2 weeks off. And managed to spend Easter with my family, which was nice. Which was good. You know, it's been nice having 2 weeks off school when my kids have been off school. But sometimes I think it's a bit too much when the kids get bored. You know what I mean? It's a case of kids need to understand that their life doesn't revolve around computer games, doesn't it? I mean, I can say that quite happily, even though the last 2 or 3 videos I've put out were live streams of me playing a computer game. But I will read some of these comments when I get to work or when I park the car. But what I've noticed recently though, and it has been bugging me, is my son, my eldest son, he's developed a bit of an attitude problem. He has, and it annoys me no end. It really does. So because of the bickering between him and his, I'm going to say his best mate, because they are best mates really, but because of the bickering between him and his best friend over computer games and this, that and the other, we've taken it away. We've banned him from playing Fortnite, specifically Fortnite. So I think over the school holidays there's been way too much of kids playing Fortnite, I think, just personal opinion, and it does affect them. So because we've banned him from it the last couple of days, he's been sulking and he's been throwing a Kevin and Perry strop, and this arsehole driving in front of me has indicated at the last minute, thank you very much, thanks for letting me know you're turning right. Get in front of him, there we go. So you know, I think it's come to a point now where we're just gonna have to limit what he's doing, and we have actually done that. We're limiting what he has to an hour on a Friday. That's if he gets Fortnite, but he can play the Switch for an hour on a Friday and an hour and a half on a Saturday only. So, you know, boundaries, limitations, you know, we've got to do what we've got to do. But other than that, being able to spend 2 weeks at home with my family over the Easter school holidays has actually been really, really, really nice, apart from the strops and the attitude. But, you know, I have to do what a good dad does and lay down some law. I'm not one of these dads that go, oh, well, let's just give in to them for an easy life. No, I'd rather not give in to my kids and have a somewhat difficult life in order to have an easier life later on when they thank me for how harsh I'm being now, you know. I will read these comments. I know there's a lot coming through, you know, but yeah, so in regards to parenting though, you know, I do want to talk about this because I have arguments with people I work with, and I've had this argument a few times. It's my standards and my level of, let me close that, my level of parenting and the way I do things compared to, say, the way they do it, or the way I see other people supposedly parenting their kids. I don't see a lot of parents actually parenting their kids and teaching them right from wrong. What I'm seeing is mums and dads who are being complete pushovers because they let their kids get away with absolute bloody murder. And I say bloody murder, I really mean it, because there's so many kids out there at the moment that give lip and swear at their parents. You know, I'm talking about kids that are between the ages of 10 and 15. You know, and from 15 upwards, there's no respect. is a complete lack of parenting, you know, because kids ain't taught fear of consequence and they're not taught respect. Now, don't get me wrong, my kid has an attitude problem at the moment because I've taken his Switch away and because he was giving me attitude because of the Switch. But that'll pass. I know it will pass because my son is fearful of consequence. You see, my son actually has respect for me. He may not like me all the time, but he loves me always. The same as I don't always have to like my children all the time, but I love them always. You see, sometimes I'm going to admit it, my eldest son can be a dick. It's true. He can. Especially when he thinks he can outsmart me. But then I have to have some patience. Explain to him that what he said is wrong. What he's doing is wrong. You know, and that he needs to see the error of his ways. You know, it's like at the moment, what he's doing is he's opening his mouth without thinking. Big time opening his mouth without thinking, and he's saying some really nasty things because he doesn't realise what he's saying is wrong. You see, he's letting verbal diarrhea exit his mouth hole, and whenever I pull him up on it, he sits there with a look on his face going like that. But he's learning. You see, there's certain things you can and can't say. There's certain things that he says which actually makes him sound like a bully, even though he's not a bully. But it's the things he's coming out with he doesn't realise are actually quite nasty things. And I tell him whenever I hear him say these things, and then he understands and he learns from it, and I explain to him why he can't say certain things, you know, why he can't behave in a certain way. And he takes that on board. He doesn't actually like it all the time because at the moment I've been on his case a lot because of his behaviour. He will thank me. He will. Because that's just what we do as kids when we get a damn good bringing up, is we apologise to our parents when we get older. I did, you know. I wasn't the most, I mean, I tried to be good when I was a kid, but I was no angel, you know, and I actually said thank you and sorry to my parents, you know, a long time ago when I realised that how difficult it was for them being parents, obviously when I was a kid, and what they had to go through, you know. So that's you know. But one other thing I just don't understand is some parents, and I'm going to talk about buses for a sec now, because obviously I've got to cater to the masses, and there's a lot of people on this channel who subscribe to me that like public transport, and I've got no problem with that. I will cater for the masses. And when it comes to public transport and not dads, I've never seen a dad do this, only mums, why, oh why do you let your 3, 4 or 5 year old run 2 or 3 bus lengths ahead of you to get on a bus behind someone really tall in the hope that the driver will see your child to hold the bus for you? Because what I will do is I will say to the kid, where's your mummy? Because I'm not ever going to say, where's your daddy? Because no, dads don't do this, you know. But I'll say, where's your mum? And the kid will go, can you wait for my mum, please? My mum's over there. No. Get off the bus and you wait for your mum. Go and stand over there by the bus stop. You go and wait for your mum, who's not running, by the way, but walking 3 or 4 bus lengths back, sending your kid running to me to get on the bus, and could, if I didn't see your kid, potentially get taken away. No, don't do that. Kids, if you're listening to this, don't go running for the bus, especially when your mother's going to be walking. No, you stay with your mum. Parents, listen to me carefully. Keep your kids with you. Keep your kids with you. You know, it does get on my nerves. I will read all these comments. I've got a few coming in. I know I've seen a couple of names on there. Mr. Smith, Mr. McGarry. I've got Miss Cornelius there. Thank you very much for watching. I will read some more out, some more names. Obviously, when I've parked the car, when I get to sunny Camberwell. Oh, so yeah, so, you know, parents. So the first thing you need to understand is don't send your kids running for the bus ever. Don't do it. Secondly, is please, 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 parents, don't allow your kids to kick any kind of panel or surface or stomp their feet while on public transport, especially upstairs at the front, because it's above my head, man. It's above my head. It's annoying and noisy. All right, don't let your kids bang like bang on any sort of surface, because it's annoying and it's inconsiderate. And you've got to understand there's other people on the bus that don't want to hear your sprogs. Equally, another thing which I think parents or mums need to do. Again, I don't ever get this problem with dads and kids. Maybe it's because, you know, kids have a bit more of a fear of dad. I don't know. But, you know, don't wind your kids up and then get on the bus with them screaming, I don't want to get on the bus. I don't want to sit downstairs. I don't want to go and see Nanny. I want a Happy Meal. Really? Really? There is nothing worse sometimes than hearing the shrill screeches of a 2-year-old that hasn't got his or her way because mum doesn't know how to say no correctly. There's a right and wrong way of saying no, believe it or not. You know, you don't say to a kid, yeah, we might have McDonald's, but no, we're not going to have McDonald's. You know, if a kid says, Mama, can I have McDonald's, please? Don't say maybe, don't say yes. What you say is, no, we're not going to McDonald's today, we'll go another day. But Mum, I want like a Happy Meal. No, you don't need a meal to be happy. We'll have a nice ham sandwich when we get home. Yeah? I'll give you a ham sandwich when we get home and you've got lots of toys in your bedroom to play with. And if that doesn't work, if the kids start screaming, believe me, I am not going to get on a bus or a train with my kids screaming. I will wait as long as it takes for my child to stop. I will not stand there lording it over them, looking down, talking to them. I will lower myself to their height. I'll gently hold their arms and shoulders and I will talk to them like I have done many, many, many times with my own kids, that they need to stop the noise because it's not going to make a blind bit of difference, and that crying is only going to get them in even more trouble when they get home, is what will happen, you know. And then I make them understand that the noise they're making is extremely silly. And then when they get on the bus, they'll either forgotten all about it or they'll just sit there with a look on their face, which as far as I'm concerned is great. I'd rather them sit there and have a look on their face and be stroppy than sit there with a look on their face going, I want a Happy Meal. But again, I don't get this problem with dads, only mums. I don't get it. And it's not all mums, by the way. I can't say all mums, only some mums who don't know their elbows from their arseholes, you see. Maybe it's because I see more mums than dads, and it does happen to dads. I just don't notice it because I don't see it, because there's less of us that go out and about, you see, because unfortunately it is quite common that there are single parent households out there, which, you know, is a choice that some people tend to make. That's fine. Oh, you're a great dad. Oh, thank you. I just saw one comment there. Thank you very much. That means a lot to me. I do try. But yeah, so computer games I think need to be knocked on the head for a lot of young kids, especially the addictive game at the moment, which is Fortnite. For kids, they need to stop playing that or cut it down a lot. I tried giving it a go. I really did. You know, I downloaded it on the PlayStation and on the PC so I could play them. I could play my son. And, you know, I gave it a chance. I really, really did. I just don't see the appeal of it. I just don't. I mean, I get that it's a battle royale game. I understand that it's everyone against everyone. I get that. I understand that when you die, you die. And I understand that the map gets smaller. I get all of that. I do. It's actually quite a good principle for a game, battle royale, where the map shrinks and everyone has to get on each other. And I get that. What I don't understand with Fortnite is why you have to build stuff. I don't get why you have to. I mean, if the way I see it with a game like that is, if you're any good at shooting people at all, why do you need to build to defend yourself? Hide behind a tree, hide in a building, camp for all I care. You know, the way I see it is, if you're chopping down a tree, or, you know, destroying a building or a rock or a car for resources to build something, as far as I'm concerned, while you're doing that, you're a sitting duck asking to get shot. But that's just what I think. Well, again, there's going to be someone out there who loves Fortnite religiously that will defend it and go, "You're wrong, man. You're wrong. You don't know nothing, man. Fortnite's the best game ever, man. Oh my God, man. You don't know. There's so many skins." And this is another thing that gets me about Fortnite. And I had to explain this to my son so bad. You know, he's playing it about a week and a bit ago. And he got killed, I believe, by someone with the default skin on Fortnite. And he was like, "No, I've been killed by a noob." A noob. Really? At what point does the way you look in the game have any bearing on how the player plays? The fact that you got killed by someone wearing the default colours that your character would start with, and not one of these fancy skins that have been paid for with virtual money called V-Bucks. Oh yeah, you see, or any other skin that you may or may not have unlocked through rigorous hours of gameplay. You know, that person with the default skin could have been a highly skilled, long seasoned, many hours played gamer of Fortnite that just happens to like wearing the default skin. The way you look in the game makes no difference. You know, I mean, my son, he likes to have the coolest, most recent, up-to-date skin for his character. You know, because he thinks it strikes fear into the heart of those who are playing against him. They're like, "Oh my God, this man's got this, or this gamer's got this skin. He must be really, really good if he's got that one." No, that just tells me that you've paid for something, or you've earned something, but doesn't mean you're any good. You see? I mean, I whooped my son's backside. I believe it was 10-3, and I let him kill me twice. You see? I'm a noob. Yes, you know, it's almost like digital computerized vanity is what it is. It's computerized vanity. And it does get annoying. It really does. It's, what does it matter what you look like in the game? I mean, you may have seen me play Warframe on PC. The first video I put out, my character was black and white, but I changed him to black and red. There are many, many, many different types of character that I can actually unlock and build, and they all have different abilities. That's great. You see, they all do different things. You know, it doesn't make me any better. It just gives me variety. I can change the way they look. I can change the way they actually feel, the way they play. It has purpose. In Fortnite, it doesn't have purpose. All it does is literally change the way you look. That's all it does. You see, at least in Warframe, it has purpose. Every single character looks and feels and does different things, completely different from one another. Different abilities, different speed, different attributes. You see, it gives you something to work towards in a sense when playing a game like that. You know, which I enjoy. And what the best thing about Warframe, it's a little plug here, is it's completely free. Do you know that? Warframe is completely free. 100% free. I mean, who'd have thunk it? You know? You're not finding a parking space today. But it's completely free. Now, when you compare that to the likes of Destiny and Anthem, excuse me, you know, all the DLC, and I mean it, all the DLC for Warframe, all the levels, everything, all the Warframe everything is always there, and it's free and is updated for free. All the different Warframes and resources and this, that and the other, although you can buy them for real money, you can actually earn or create yourself through hours and hours of dedicated gameplay. You don't have to spend a penny. On Destiny, you do a lot, which is why I don't play it anymore. In fact, I've point blank refused to buy the second game, specifically for that reason. Why is my AC on? I must remember to get petrol before I go home. I was supposed to get petrol on the way here, but I didn't. You know, but you know, I'm not a fan of pay to win. You know, I mean, we all buy games, we all buy software. Don't get me wrong, but let me just park this car. Am I in the box? Am I in the box? Am I in the box? That's it, I'm in the box. Right, so let's get this out now. Engine off. There we go. Oh, hello everybody. Let's read these comments. So, wow. Freddie 2004.13. Hello. Odd question. Is it possible to drive a bus move with the doors open? Like maybe there's an override switch or something. Do you know what? It's not really. I mean, the bus that I drive, you can't move the bus at all with the doors open. Some buses will allow you to move the bus with the front door open, but they then close immediately. I can actually, well, I can actually keep the back door open on an LT, but the smaller door that was openable has been screwed shut, which means I can keep the rear door open, but because we don't have the staff to stay on these buses, I have to keep that door completely closed with the override switch. So yes, there is an override switch. Yeah, my family is addicted to Fortnite. Stop playing Fortnite. It is the worst game ever. Sarah Cornelius, hi, happy Easter to you too. My family as well. I hope yours is well too. Mr. Smith, hi. Morning, Chrissy boy. I used to get outdoors in my childhood, pal. Hope bickering doesn't affect after school. And do you know, I think going back to school is the best thing. They need to go back to school right now. I've had enough of them. Morning from London. Guild Mohammed. Gulleed, sorry, I do apologise. Hi, in London too. Adam, good morning. Oh, you're a great dad. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. One of my friends' 2-year-olds is really good on the bus, and she always makes sure she thanks the open up granola. The bus driver as they're getting off on the bus. That's one thing my son does, my youngest son in particular, is we'll get on the bus, he'll go, cheers mate, like that, just like Apple and Onion. If you haven't seen Apple and Onion, watch it, it's funny. It's very distracting as well. Yes, it is. Yep, I agree with you. Great dad. Oh, thank you. Do you agree? No, I do agree. This is why I need my headphones when I'm on the bus. Also, another thing which pee me off is then people let their kids run up and down the bus, then blame the driver when the kid gets hurt. Yes, Adam. Yes. This is one thing that annoys me, and the top deck specifically, is I will actually say to them, look, can you please let your kids sit down on the top deck? Don't stand on the upper deck or stairs. If your kid gets injured, I'm not taking responsibility for it. I say that verbally. Not a problem. You see? Now then, if anything happens to that kid, in any way, shape or form, they come downstairs, oh, my thumb face butted the handrail when you broke and the bus lurched forward. Now, actually, I do apologise for that. So, however, I did actually perform an emergency stop when a child ran in front of me and your child wasn't sitting down. So, you know, so there's that. If you bump into Anton today, can you say hi for me, please, Chris? If I bump into him, of course I will. Funfair Screamers, hi. Some buses around my way, if the doors are open, when the bus moves, the alarm goes off. Yeah, pretty much the same as it works here. Yes, Mr. Screamers, I'm on my way to work. Glad you had great holidays, and I hope you have a great day, pal. Thank you very much, Ross. So, yes, I am on my way to work. I don't actually start for another hour and a half. I thought I'd get in early to find somewhere to park, which is, part of the course. I should have got petrol. I've got 26 miles of petrol. Do you trust it? Do you trust it? Do you trust when it says 26 miles? Do you? I'm like to say yes. I say that. I like to say yes. Patrice, hi. What do you think of the new congestion charge? Has it changed anything? To be fair, I don't agree with it for vehicles that were of my older vehicle. I had a 2014 diesel, very clean car, would have been subject to the charge. And I know the charge is going to be blown up to the North and South Circuit at some point, because that's what Sadiq Khan does. So I've had to change my car. It doesn't affect me. I haven't driven in it yet on the bus because I've been off for the last 2 weeks. But we shall see. We shall see. I will let people know if the roads are any clearer. I'm expecting there to be a curtailment or diversion at some point for these eco warriors I've been seeing on the news. So we'll wait and see about that. Hope you have nice passengers. And do you know what? I really hope I have nice passengers too. Get rid of ULEZ, I say. No, I don't say get rid of ULEZ. I think keep ULEZ for older vehicles. I'm talking like anything up to a 2004 plate. You see, from 2005, engines started getting relatively clean. You see, but anything up to a 2004, charge it. Anything from 2005 onwards, they're relatively clean, to be fair. They shouldn't be charged, and I think Sadiq Khan made a massive fuck up on that, because as and when this charge area does expand up to the North and South Circular, I'm going to be putting in a claim for half the value of my car from the Mayor of London, because he forced me to buy a new car when I didn't want to. It's not going to happen. It's going to happen, but it's not going to work, is it? But I'll try. So if anyone knows, if anyone's legally minded or is a legal representative want to do this for me, for the sheer exposure for you, and you win, great. You'll get more out of it than I will just from work. So there's that. So yeah, I am back to work. I'm going to get out of this car. Right. So there we go. Let's read this. It's going to be around 2021. It's Bromley area. How long you been driving buses? I've been driving buses for 7.5 years. And as for this ULEZ, it is going to be, as far as I'm aware, extended to the North and South Circular in the next year to 2 years. I think it depends on how successful it is in raking in money. And to be fair, I think if it is raking in money, Sadiq Khan loves a pretty penny, doesn't he? You see, it won't spend any on our police services, or police forces, should I say, not services. How rude of me. Now, police forces, you see, it's almost like he doesn't want to spend the money, the same as, Theresa May doesn't want to spend any money on our police. This is the same woman that thinks that there is no link between the rise in knife crime and the fall in police numbers. There's no link there at all to Theresa May. That's like saying, Theresa May, there's no link between sugar and diabetes. Think about it. If you say there's no link between the rise in crime and the lack of police numbers, then as far as I'm concerned, you are literally saying there is no link between obesity, diabetes, and fatty foods and sugar. Makes sense, doesn't it? Doesn't it? So, if I had the funding, if I had the backing, if I had the charisma and clout, I would actually run for Mayor of London. I would. I would actually run to be Prime Minister. I reckon I could shake things up in this country for the better. I think. You know, none of this left-wing politics, none of this right-wing politics. Common sense must rule. You see, common sense must rule. You got to think, you know, it starts with not being a dick towards everyone. Don't you reckon? You see? Don't be a dick towards anyone. I think it'd be a case of teach everyone that we're all equal. It doesn't matter whether you're black, white, Asian, Indian, British, Chinese, African, American. It doesn't matter who you are. You see? If you're here legally and live here legally and you work here legally, everyone is completely equal. 100%. You see? Man, woman, doesn't matter. Call yourself what you like. It's not a case of being left wing or right wing, it's a case of being right. Do what's right for the country. You see? I would deliver Brexit. I would. I wouldn't try and haggle for a shit deal that keeps us in the European Union, which is basically what it's not even a deal, it's a treaty. You see? I would literally take us out completely. Rip it off like a band-aid. And then I'd slowly but surely work things out with the rest of the world and hope that Europe gets on board. And if they don't, then they will lose out in the long run. Let's read some of these comments. I would make you, and you would make a great Prime Minister. Oh, thanks, Sarah. It's got worse since they reduced the police number. It all comes to money. Yes, it does all come to money. And the amount of money we pay in tax and council tax and everything else, where does that money go? Where does that money go? Just think, if we weren't in the European Union and we could save 50 odd million pounds a day, where do you reckon that money could be distributed? 13 billion pounds a year. We could quite easily subsidise our farmers, couldn't we? We could quite easily subsidise our farmers. Oh, come on, man, it's Easter Monday. Come on, please. I tried. You see, we could easily subsidise our farmers with some of that money. We could put money into our armed forces, we could put money into schools, put money into the NHS, money into the emergency services, the police, the paramedics, fire brigade. We could put money back into our infrastructure, getting the roads fixed, getting schools back on par with the rest of the world. We could put money into so many things that we're not giving to the European Union. We can make, in the words of Donald Trump, let's make our country great again. And it starts by leaving the European Union. It does. It does. You see, the money that we'd be saving, you see, goes towards making the country great again. And as for this £39 billion divorce bill, well, what happens when we get the bailiffs turn up at your house? You agree a minimum payment. As long as they get it, I don't give a fuck how long it takes. You want £39 billion from us? Fine, not a problem. You can have 1 billion a year for 39 years. How about that? 1 billion per year for 39 years. interest free, because to be fair, we've paid our debt really. I think it's when we liberated the rest of Europe from Nazi rule, pretty much as when we, you know, paid that little debt, don't you think? But anyway, I am back to work. You're watching Chris on Chris's Real Talk. Have a lovely